We are back talking Survivor 50, episode 4, titled Knife to the Heart. The episode picks up right back at the Vaatu tribe where they're trying to figure out what's going on because Q just got sent home. Stephanie feels alone, and you have Ozzy over there just mad that they sent Q home, and he really didn't want him gone because they had a little alliance going on. But Emily is assuring Ozzy that Q was best for the tribe. Even though Ozzy's more on the side of like, well, we got other challenges and we need the strength and whatnot. So he's still playing a little bit old school. Emily's trying to mix both together. But Emily's trying to work with Ozzy, which is interesting because hasn't been many edits showing Emily and Ozzy becoming close. But as this episode went on, there's more there as far as them working together. Hopefully we get a little more backstory into why they're working so well together or closer together. We'll see. But you have Ozzy that's focusing on wanting to get Angelina out because he wants her out of the way so he can get closer to Mike White. And I think it has more to do so that way when White Lotus picks up again, Ozzy can have an appearance on there. That's what I'm kind of thinking it's all about, since Mike White knows Ozzy, since I guess Ozzy was a manager at a restaurant and that's how they know each other. So I think that's the only reason why he wants Angelina out of the way. Then we go to the Kahlo tribe, and you continue to see this disdain that Aubrey and Genevieve have for each other. I've been saying this on my other videos, is I really hope they show some more edits about why these two just really don't get along and they just despise each other. Could it be that they're so their gameplay is so similar, they're both smart? I don't know, but they just don't like each other. And it starts off with Aubrey just takes off wandering around to look for another idol so she can play her game. And according to Aubrey, she's only gone for like 5 minutes, but there goes Genevieve out there to find her, to check on her, so to speak, and make sure she's doing okay. And Aubrey's like, yeah, I'm just trying to take a moment to myself. But the moment Genevieve turns around, Aubrey makes this face like she can't stand her. So I love that these two are just bickering with each other all the time. And wouldn't you know it, Genevieve finds another hidden immunity idol. And this time around, she decides she's not telling anybody. She's going to keep it to herself. And she gives it to Rizzo because she wants to be able to blindside Rizzo, because Rizzo won't see that it's coming from Genevieve, so she can get him out so that idol can come right back to her unbeknownst to anybody. So she's got a little more leverage in this game. We'll see how it works out. I'm just more curious to see these boomerang idols, if it actually works out and they're coming back to the players that got sent to them originally. We'll see. And then we get to the immunity challenge right off the bat, and there's a twist to it, so to speak, is of course the two teams that win get immunity and the third team is going to tribal, but the winning team that gets first gets a Zach Brown lunch. And I'll get to that in just a second. But as we watch the immunity challenge, it goes as according to plan. You got Kahlo wins first. They come back to win this thing. CeeLo wins second. And the poor Vaatu tribe, man, they finished dead last. They weren't even close in this challenge. And they just don't have enough horses in the stables, man. They've got Ozzy and Steph that are just doing everything they can, which is great to see, man. Old school, just continuing to just plug along. But they just don't have the horses in that tribe, because you've got Mike White. He's an older dude. He's not very strong. Christian, I don't know if he's actually very strong, but you got Angelina and you've got Emily, and there's just not enough muscle to do some of these harder challenges that require just physical strength. And I'm not going to spend too much time on the Zach Brown segment because, one, I don't know who the dude is. I didn't care for it. I don't know his music. And it was 13 minutes too long. I mean, I can't believe they spent that much time on it and just that whole segment. I don't know how much money Zach dropped in this thing so he can do his own promo or whatever. And I get it, I suppose. You have a lot of people who maybe have never heard of Survivor or seen it, but, oh, Zach Brown, my favorite artist, is on Survivor. I need to watch it. And they get hooked in that way. You don't know. But it was too long, and it was like, just there's a lot of gameplay we could be watching versus this dude serenading some fans who are all acting all gaga over this dude. And then you kick over to the Sela tribe, and D is just, I don't know. And I'm sorry, she's overreacting to this. Yeah, you lost the ability to go see, I guess, your favorite artist up front and personal and just have an afternoon with them. But, the edit just spent a little too much time on her with this, oh, we went through hard times, and oh, his music just really got me out of those places. Newsflash, D. Gen Xers and before that, we've been using music to help us get through those hard times. It's not the first time. You won. You don't got to go to tribal. Some of these players sometimes just forget what the whole point of Survivor is. They're all upset, and I'd be like, hell, I don't know who the dude is. I could care less. We got immunity. I'm cool. And then we do a quick edit over to Rizzo, and he finds the hidden immunity idol that Genevieve sent him. And Rizzo's just, he's just this one player that he reads too much of his own newspaper clippings. He buys into his own hype too much because he's excited that he's got this idol and brags about his game in 49, that the way he's going to use this thing again. And his quote is, he's one of the better players to ever play this game, and he's going to use the magic to make it happen again. And I'm sorry, you did nothing in your season other than just wave it around, and everyone just used it to keep you there while they voted other people off. And when you did have to actually do something like make fire, you failed at it. So I wouldn't necessarily say you're one of the best players to ever play this game, because you didn't do anything. Then you get over to the Vaatu tribe, and I love the symbolism right off the bat when you see the shark, surfing in the water, getting all these fish, symbolizing there's a shark in the water, and you got to watch out for everything. And I really love that symbolism with what was going on with this Vaatu tribe, because you got everyone going after each other on this one. You have Ozzy that wants to take out Angelina. Mike wants to keep Angelina around because they're close. Mike wants to get rid of Emily. Christian wants to keep Emily around. And you got Steph that's just like, hey, where can I go? Where can I put my vote? So as long as it's somebody else and not me. And then you see a cut back to where Mike White and Christian are talking. And you can see how persuasive Mike White is in talking to Christian about his relationship with Emily, as he says, hey, didn't you have a similar relationship with Gabby on David versus Goliath? Which I totally had forgotten about that. But yeah, Gabby and Christian were close, and then she tried to get rid of him. And I guess that really bothered Christian, and because he started crying, and I didn't think that was that big of a deal, but that was a while ago. So Christian's trying to decide what to do, but he ultimately decides we need to get rid of Mike because this dude is pulling some major strings. So he pulls Stephanie aside and he said, hey, we need to pull this vote off. And it's the very famous Sari vote that Sari pulled off, the 3-2-1 vote. And he explained to Stephanie, it's pretty simple. It's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. Me, meaning Christian, Steph, and Emily, we're going to vote for Mike. We know Angelina and Mike are going to vote for Emily. And Ozzy, we're going to leave him in the dark because we know he's going after Angelina. And if you know that vote, that's a very hard vote because you are really hoping that this goes according to what you think it is. It takes just one person to just flip it upside down on his head, which we see Emily start to do because Christian fills her in like, hey, Mike White wants you gone, which of course she puts up her defense mechanism of like, what's going on? And it's like, hey, this is what we're going to do, but we're not going to tell Ozzy because Ozzy wants to be close to Mike and whatever. But Emily's kind of conflicted because she just told Ozzy, hey, we're going to work together, whatever. And she feels bad that she's going to keep Ozzy out. So what does she do? She brings him over and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going after Mike. And it's so funny because you see Christian and Steph just like staring right through her like, what are you doing? And, the Mike White not Mike White, I'm sorry. Ozzy is trying to talk to Emily, and you see Christian behind Ozzy, like telling her to shut up, don't say anything. It was comical, But I want to talk about Emily's game for a minute, because for the last 2 episodes, she's been playing insane. And it took me a minute to think about it. but she is actually very good for this modern era of Survivor. You know why? Because she's not playing by a script. She's not playing by a set of rules. She's doing her own thing. And if there's one thing about new Survivor that is boring, is that everybody gets in line, everyone follows the exact same script, and let's just do what we have to do. And it becomes kind of predictable. The fact that Emily just keeps doing this is refreshing. It's fun because you're going crazy because everyone likes Christian, right? You want the plan to work, and she just flips up upside down on his head, and it makes it fun because you don't know what's gonna happen, and that's what made Survivor so much fun before the new era where everyone played the same, they followed the exact same script, and it got so boring. I'm sorry, but it's refreshing that Emily is doing these chaotic things. And then you get to tribal, and the vote goes just according to plan, a 3-2-1 vote. It was Mike voted out, wanted Emily. Emily voted Mike. Ozzy voted Angelina. Steph voted Mike. Angelina voted Emily. And of course, Christian voted Mike. So it went off according to plan, which complete blindside on Mike White. He even yells at everyone, calls everyone skunks, which was a funny little moment. I really enjoyed that one. Overall, this was a pretty decent episode. I was kind of bored with I'm not gonna lie, I was really bored with the Zach Brown segment. That just took way too stinking long. And then you had the talent show, which wasn't as long. It was a little segment, but there's just so many players still on this season, and there's only so many days left. But we got a little teaser for episode 5, which is it's a double elimination. So we're finally gonna get a couple of people out. I'm just kind of curious on who's going to get voted out. If you are new to this channel, if you like this little recap, do me a favor. Hit that sub button so you don't miss anything Survivor related. Doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out quite a bit. So until next time, go check out my other videos. But more importantly, take care, guys.